I'd like to talk a little bit about how I finally finished a novel. I spent years wanting to write a novel. I managed to finish a few short stories here and there, but I could never finish anything of substance. And I always wondered what was wrong with me that I couldn't finish. I had ideas, I had imagination. I've loved reading since I was pretty young. Every time I would start, something would end up making me quit. I think after a while that really messes with your head. You get this notion in you that you just can't. So writing became a recurring source of frustration, depression, shame. You know, I get excited about an idea, and sometimes I would just start, make the mistake of trying to just start writing. That never goes well. Start trying to do the planning, but it didn't seem to matter how I started, what I tried to put into it before I got started. I could never finish. I would get a ways in sometimes, sometimes not, but I would never be able to keep going. You know, always blame it on life getting in the way, or it would start to feel too messy, or even with plotting and trying to outline, I wouldn't know if that's really what I wanted to have happen next. So I'd stop. Sometimes for weeks, months, even years, I would just stop. I'd turn to music production, which is another interest of mine, or something else that had caught my fancy. But every time I would come back and end up asking the same question: why can't I finish anything? I wondered if maybe I just wasn't cut out for it, if maybe real writers finish things and I'm just someone who likes the idea of being a writer. Kind of sticks with you, messes with you. So yeah, there were pretty long stretches where I would just stop writing completely. I'd tell myself things like I was being realistic, or that I just had other responsibilities. Sometimes I thought maybe it was something I should just let go of entirely. But the itch would always come back. The desire to build a world, to tell a story, to create something that was mine. You probably know that feeling. Then a couple of years ago, I started experimenting with AI tools to help me write for the first time. And boy, did it not go well that first time. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. I'm sure if you've tried it at all, especially years ago now, the prose was hot garbage. What most people now call AI slop. You know, uh, Too many metaphors. Everything had to be a metaphor. Prose was bloated out to here. No continuity to speak of. So yeah, it was pretty terrible. But something about it did appeal to me in a way. It wasn't the output that was being generated then, but it was the possibility of what you might be able to get out of it if you figured out the right ways to use it. Underneath all the mess, I saw how it could possibly help me finish something. Eventually, shopping around a bit, I found the AI tool that I still use, Sudowrite, and it wasn't magic, it's still not. It wasn't perfect, still not. And it definitely does not write books for me like a magic button. But what it does do is help me finish. It helps me complete things, organize, all of those things. That was my real breakthrough with it. Not trying to use AI to replace creativity, but to use it to remove roadblocks that were in my way, to help me work through plot problems, to see possible results. By generating an outline, for example, I could see something completed that I could then go in and adjust and tweak to my liking so that it was mine. To keep momentum, to figure out what comes next instead of freezing up. My goal was never to try to write faster. My goal was to stop getting stuck. It took me some time to find an idea that really appealed to me and I really wanted to finish. But one did click for me eventually. It was inspired by Black Hawk Down, the movie and the Battle of Mogadishu, the real events that inspired the movie. But taking that, some elements of that, and putting it into a fantasy setting, that idea really grabbed me. And I built it out, guided the AI in Sudowrite step by step until I, for the first time in my life, I finished a draft. Then I put it in a folder and didn't touch it because I was afraid nobody would like it. But I didn't quit. I kept learning, kept building confidence, kept going. And since then, I have self-published 5 novels. One of them is that idea, but I fleshed it out and, improved it. I will never forget the first time I opened up Amazon and saw that somebody had bought a copy. Not because of the money, it makes me emotional. It was because somebody, somewhere, chose to read my story. I cried. I really did, and I'm almost crying again now. It wasn't pride. It was just a relief, a feeling of relief, because it wasn't finishing, it didn't really make me confident, but it did make me trust myself that I could do it. And seeing that somebody wanted to read what I had made, I mean, it's a feeling that you cannot just imagine until you've gone through it. And even if somebody doesn't buy your first story, they might buy a copy of the next one. Eventually, you will get to have that feeling too. That's why this channel exists. It's not because I'm some AI evangelist, although I do believe that AI tools can be amazing and used for amazing things. I wanted to help people who love stories and struggle, who may not trust themselves to finish, who run into roadblocks. It's for anybody that really truly feels that you have stories inside you to tell, but keep getting stuck. It isn't about writing faster or removing work, although sometimes that can help, because you can always edit a draft. You can't edit something that doesn't exist. It's not about the grind or letting AI take over and do it all for you with a click of a button. It's about finding any tools necessary, including AI, using them as creative partners so you can finally finish something, get it out into the world, and have that feeling of somebody wanting to read your story. So, if you've been stuck for a long time, I want you to know something. You're not broken. You're not alone. If this resonated with you, Please like, share, subscribe, comment. That's what I'm here for, what this channel is here for, to help you. To help you finish something, finally, without losing your voice or your sanity. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Later.